from Group 69, and this is our Smart Air project. So let's first just log in with a parent. So she is Jane Doe at pinmx.net, and her password is Jane Doe. So you see that we just logged in with her. I'm just going to quickly log out and show you the recover account feature. So we will recover her account, Jane Doe at pinmx.net. And so we will now go and check her email and recover her password. So here you see we just got an email a few seconds ago to reset her password, and we will name it password. Let's save that to our Firebase. And now Jane Doe at pinmx.net. Her password is password. So you can see as we've logged in, she's gotten quite a few notifications about her kid Jack, who's had some logs. But first, let's add a kid. Maybe we'll name them Marcus. They're maybe 70 pounds, 45 inches tall. They're pretty young. They're born in 2018. And they'll name them Mark. That'll be their username, and their password will be password. So you can see that Mark has been added to the list of patients, and we'll take a look at Jack Doe. So he's had a rescue in the last hour. He's been in the green zone today, and he's had 4 rescues this week. That'll become 5 soon. And he's been in the green zone because of some of the logs that he's done. And you can see this little chart component that shows that his trend snippet over 7 days he's had 0 because he hasn't existed in the database until just today. And then same for the 30-day summary. So let's just do a daily check-in for him. Maybe he's done a night walk and there was some dust that was annoying him. We can see that in the check-in history if we choose just to not do any filters to make things easy and just filter by today. He's done a couple check-ins today for some reason, but you can see that's the log that we've just done, and it shows up, obviously. So now, let's actually first just look at our inventory. So you can see that Quick Relief Medicine, we have 50 of them. Controller Medicine, we have 13. And you can edit when you've purchased them, when your medicine is going to expire, and you can say this was reported by a parent or a child, these inventory counts. And so let's first log some controller usage. Remember that there was 13 doses before. So let's say that they've used 10 doses. And they feel better afterwards. You know, they did this today at that time, 4:33. Their shortness of breath rating, it was a 2. You know, maybe they had a 9. They're feeling really good, a 9. They wanted to use the technique helper just to give them some help. They've watched this video, and they can see some instructions on how to use the controller if they're not so sure. And they'll submit this log. So it's been submitted now. And then we will also log a rescue attempt. Say they're feeling bad, and their dosage will be 20. So it should be 50 down to 30, if I'm not mistaken. Let's say they have all the triggers and all the symptoms. They're feeling really bad. Their peak flow before is a 2, and it's still at a 2. So they're like, yeah, I'm going to do a triage and see what the app's going to tell me to do. They'll look at, oh, I'm having trouble breathing. They say their peak flow was 2, and they use the rescue inhaler, so it tells them to start the home steps. But they actually feel, you know, maybe these 2, so it says you should probably call the emergency room. But now they're feeling a bit better, so nothing to worry about. So now let's go back into our inventory, and you can see that, 70 down to 50 for the relief medicine, and 13 down to 3, as I said. So you can see that the inventory reconciles when you use the medicine. So now let's see, he's not very good with his streaks and badges currently. You know, he has no streaks, and you can set your limits. Maybe you want your goal to be 9 controller uses in a week. You can set that, but he has, or to get the next badge. So 9 days of consistent controller usage, you can set that as I just did. But currently he's got no streaks going at all. So now we can see our incident log of our triages right here. And you can see this is the one that we've just done. They were advised to call emergency. Their PF was 2. They had those red flags. And you can scroll through and see them. And you can also view the medicine logs of someone. So you can view controller medicine logs right there. And this is the log that we've just done, if you recall. And then rescue logs all the way at the bottom with all those symptoms. That's the one that we've just done. And you can export this as a PDF. You know, it's we'll zoom in. you can see controller logs, rescue logs. You can scroll, and that'll grow, obviously. And so now we can also go and look at our summary charts. So here's the summary charts that we have. We have the symptom burden by days, what days do you have these symptoms, or how many do you have them per day? That's right there. Controller adherence percent, that's 100. Jack's been very good with his controller usage. And rescue attempts per week, unfortunately, is null because it requires 7 days of history. And then here's our monthly PEF zone distribution. It's 100% in the green for December, but there's also a yellow and a red column that would change depending on the distribution for the month. And then finally, you can see any notable triage incidents. This is when 911 was advised to be called. You can see they're all emergencies. So that is that. And so now, finally, let's just manage the account. So we will generate a one-time code for our user, or actually we'll do this for a different user since he's already been shared. And yes, I will just go to that screen now. So I just remembered I was actually going to create a new doctor for these purposes. So with Jack, we'll actually generate a one-time code. You can also put some additional notes about Jack in here if you'd like. But here's our one-time code. I'm just going to write it down. So I just wrote the code down, and let's make sure sharing permissions are, all going. He's sharing everything, and maybe he wants to do 4-month time frame. And if we wanted to revoke provider access, he gets a new doctor, you can always click this button. But so now let's just log out, and we'll take a look at Mark. That was the child that we just created earlier. So we'll see that they're a brand new user, so they're brought to this to their onboarding. And you can see that their zone is not available since they haven't done anything. Their last rescue time was set to 3 hours ago. That's just a placeholder value. That should be set to NA, which we'll do later on. And you can see they have no trends. Weekly rescue count being 4 is once again just a placeholder that we have. And they have much less permissions and much less things that they can see, but the functional requirements are there. So now let's create a new doctor. So we'll register and register as a doctor. Registering as a doctor and a parent are both the exact same except for how you're represented in the database. So we'll call them Dr. James, maybe James Jamie. And their email will be Dr. J, we'll just make it all lowercase, at gmail.com, and their password will be password. So now we'll log in and Dr. J at gmail.com. So their account has been made, obviously, and they've been redirected to the login, and password has been made. So now he's brought to his onboarding once again because he's a new user, and you can read that over yourself. And so now he can enter a one-time code. So I'll get him to enter the one-time code that was shared, which is 351619721, and it's So let's just try that one more time. So there's a small error, but anyway, I'll just show you our Firebase. So 351619721 is our code, our one-time code, and we will just go back here and submit 351619721. And I'll also show you our doctor, Dr. Adam. Oh, sorry, I don't think that's the doctor. Yeah, Dr. James Jamie here. You'll see patients. So we submit the code, and he's added to patients. So a false alarm. Anyway, currently we have to actually log back into the account to have the patient show up. So if we log out and then log back in, you can see Jack Doe shows up as a patient, and you can choose him, and you can view the summary charts of Jack Doe, which are the same as I showed earlier, with his triage incidents, etc. And so that kind of wraps it all up for the functionality of the app. I wish I had more time because there is a bit more to show you, but I'm sure you'll see on your own review. Thank you.